Assalamualaikum. My name is Afiqah Syazana.
My name is Aminlia.
So today we're gonna present our assignment 1, which is we choose AD as our system development life cycle, and this is the phase of AD.
AD is a predictive life cycle because the scope of the project phase can be clearly articulated, and the schedule and cost can be predicted. Predictive planning provides a linear and specific development, as we can see, such as AD phases. It concludes 5 phases such as analysis, design, development, and implementation, and evaluation. In the analysis phase, instructional problem is clarified. The instructional goals and objectives are established, and the learning environment and learners' existing knowledge and skills are identified. The design phase deals with learning objective, assessment instruments, exercises, content, subject matters, analysis, lesson planning, and media selection. So at the design phase, we can see the project developer design the project, and then it means each element of the instructional design plan needs to be executed with attention to details. The development phases is where the developer create and assembles the content assets that were created in the design phase. So basically, development continue what design phase has been doing. During the implementation phase, a procedure for training the facilitator and learners is developed. The evaluation phase consists of 2 parts, formative and summative. Formative evaluation is present in each stage of AD process. Summative evaluation consists of tests designed for domain-specific criterions, relate reference items, and providing opportunities for feedbacks from the user.
Okay, for this question, we have been analysed the criteria of the model, which is AD. So, the first phase is analyze, which is in project management. We call it initiate. So, in this phase, we recognize a project or the next phase of an existing project. Then we recognize the resources that should be committed to the project. So, in analyze, why we need to analyze, because the feasibility study to determine the performance gap at the individual and business level. Then present the alternative and possible solution. It was prepared by the designer, team, and outside agency. After that, it will be approved by leadership. Then why we conducting a analysis? Because it locates the root cause of the performance gaps, then compare what is expected to what is actually achieved. Then it will conduct a survey or interview or brainstorming. Then it will walk through the current process, and then after that we will make an observation, and then the prototype that we will we working with. And then the project charter, it provides the structure of the project plan, and it will justify the project, and the document need to be addressed, includes a description of the project. Document was propose the result of the project, and it will include input from the stakeholders. For the stakeholders, we will include the practitioner or groups of people with specialized knowledge or skill in a particular area, and then it will make interests should be considered throughout the project. And then the second phase is design. In project management, we call it plan. In this phase, 40% of time allocated to complete the project should be spent in planning. Then the size and complexity of project determine the processes to be included. In this phase, instructional design document, the outline will create as the framework of the instructional plan. Then it will provide high-level overview of the product content and how it will be treated. It will enable stakeholders to validate the program's objective, architecture, content, and concept before development. And it will identify learning strategies by learning style and adult learning principle. Other than we in this phase, the project management plan. So overall, we'll approach used to plan and manage a project, and it consists of subsidiary plans that detail how specific area of the project will be managed, and the document cost, time, quality, risk, and resources to complete the project. Then for project scope statement, it will define the deliverables, be sure to include cost and time, document initial planning effort for the project, used to reach agreement among managers, stakeholders, and team before resources are allocated. And then for work breakdown structure, the comprehensive review of the project, subdivide major project deliverable and project work into smaller, more management component called work package. The lowest level task should have duration between 2 and 22 days, and effort should not take more one person than 1 week to complete. Okay, for the third phase is develop. In project management, we call it execute. This phase will design document that will be moved to development. In this phase, communication is the key of the success for this project. So in communication element, if we create a positive environment, we have to know our audience, the project credibility, and listen, awareness of verbal and non-verbal response to feedback. Then it will validate the product, which is the content was learning content relevant to the task to be performed, and process, did the presentation method help us learn the content, and for material, were the manuals, job aids adequate, useful, and applicable. And then for the fourth phase is implementation. In PM, we call it monitoring and controlling. In this phase, it will take items created during development and makes them available to their audience. And then pilot program and implementation plan meet design requirement and accepted by client, and collect the participant feedback. And the last phase is evaluate, which is in PM we call it close. In this phase it will ensure the customer content with the project deliverable. It will obtain sign off by customer that project is complete. Hold a lesson learned meeting with project team and appropriate stakeholder, and it will create a final report. And then the last one will celebrate the success. So the potential project for AD model is e-learning production, which is when we use AD in e-learning, the completion time are easier to gauge as large. Okay, the completion time are easier as larger pieces of the project are planned in advance. The development of larger unit can be easier to evaluate. Project management can be easier based on comprehensive master plan.
Okay. For the third question is AD versus project management process group. So AD model, as we know, is a generic process traditionally used by instructional designers and training developers. The five processes is analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. And for project management process group, it is a series of action directed towards a particular result. Project management can be viewed as a number of interlinked processes. The project management process group include initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing processes. So, can both of these process or AD and project management group can be same or similar? Based on our research, analysis process in AD models is similar to initiating and planning because of these processes are doing the same thing, such as planning, analyzing, and initiating to start a project. These processes is where the project name, problem, cost, aim, target audience, timeline, and are identified. So, design and development in AD model is similar to executing process in the project management process group. These three processes are doing the same thing, developing the project until the project finish, and it usually take the most time and resources to perform project execution. Implementation in AD models is similar to monitoring and controlling processes in the project management process group. Both of these processes is similar because it involves measuring progress towards project objective, monitoring deviation from the plan, and taking the correction action. Evaluation in AD models is similar to closing processes because both of these process is because it's involve gaining stakeholders and customer acceptance of the final product and services. So basically, the last process is where they get the feedback from the customer and stakeholders. That's all. Thank you.